keys, blame me, it ain't my fault. Purdy Katie in the front, run. Yeah. Teddy world gon' shine. Yeah. Icy cat people, claws sharp, eyes wide, yeah, we all lethal. Katie Woe on a Ronin chain, moving regal. You ain't got 9 lives, then you not equal. Sneaky like a newbie, cracking through the vault. Got the codes, got the keys, blame me, it ain't my fault. Purdy Katie in the front, running plays like a boss. Fat Katie counting racks, making sure we never fall. We scratching up the charts, Katie taking flight. Top cats in the game, yeah, we running right. Hold tight to your bags, don't get left behind. We built different, Katie world gon' shine. Professor Katie Titty got the vision, painting out the scene. Blueprints locked in, Def Katie locked in the den, staying on the grind. 420 Katie, keep it chill, past the vibe. But grumpy Katie always got that side eye. Dumb Katie wildin', always up to something. Mixing chaos with the players, now the system bumping. Ain't no stopping when we move, this a different breed. From the blockchain to the streets, we the ones to lead. We the ones to lead. We scratching up the charts, Katie taking flight. Top cats in the game, yeah, we running right. Hold tight to your bags, don't get left behind. We build different, Katie world gon' shine. From Ronin to the world, yeah, we taking over. Pause in the game, sitting high like a rover. We ain't stopping this, just the start. Katie world forever, etched in art. Yeah. Katie world gon' shine. Yeah.
Oh, I know you lot. I see you lot in the chat as well. You already know what it is today, bro. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. We ain't even starting just yet, but yo, KTTY got some shit going, bro. Lock in, go ahead and share the stream around. We're gonna have an interview with the team today, find out a little bit more. Sentiment turning up, bro. I can see that. So let's get a little reload and go again. All right. We're locked in with KTTY today. I'm glad you guys are here, showing support nice and early. But make sure you get this stream posted out there. If you're here on the YouTube channel and you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, my friend. And at 1,000 subscribers, we'll be giving out a Ronky NFT. But today, we're going to explore the Kitty world, understand everything that these guys are doing and building. So lock in with me. Let's go.
Already gone, left my paw prints in the vault. Blueprints passed along, tried to track me through the chain, but the signal's getting lost. I move silent, leave a breadcrumb trail in the frost. Who's got the vault? Who's got the key? A newbie's too quick, can't catch me. Grumpy on guard.
Bro, someone said, is that Elijah? I'm dead.
Unfold and just wait and see. Fat KTTY counting digits, moving smart, playing chess. While Per Katie got the marketing, keep the brand fresh. Professor sketching visions, making art that's next to none. And Dev Katie locked inside the den, grinding till it's done. 20 Katie chilling, rolling plans like they tight. But dumb Katie wildin', pressing buttons just for spite. Katie world, we taking over. Ronin chain is holding strong. Built for felines by the felines, yeah, we always play it long. Who's got the vault? Who's got the key? A newbie's too quick, can't catch me. Grumpy on guard, but I play free. Chaos unfolding, just wait and see. Grumpy Katie posting watch. Staying tight with every move, but I leave a little trail just to see what they can prove. I ain't hiding, just excusing all the mischief that I do. Try and stop me if you want, y'all know I never lose. Katie world, we built for the thrill. Vaults get cracked and the secret spilled. Some stay locked, some get free. But one thing's for sure, you can't stop me. Yeah. Teddy world gon' shine.
Okay, yo, the peoples are all here. Is waiting for the team to be ready. We are on deck. Today, you can see it, bro. It's the Kitty World Takeover. We're gonna be talking about it today. A lot of products, a lot of angles we can go with this conversation. And I'm actually really excited to get into this one. I hope you guys are ready too. But One more minute. We gonna run this track up again, and when the time this is over, we're gonna start the show. But good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever it is for you. You're locked back in. It's Tuesday. It's Ronin Radio time. Let's fucking go, people.
We built different, Katie world gon' shine. Professor Katie Titty got the vision, painting out the scene. Blueprints locked in. Def Katie locked in the den, staying on the grind. 420 Katie, keep it chill, past the vibe. But grumpy Katie always got that side eye. Dumb Katie wildin', always up to something. Mixing chaos with the plans, now the system bumping. Ain't no stopping when we move, this a different breed. From the blockchain to the streets, we the ones to lead. What's the lead? 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 We the ones to lead. We scratching up the charts, Katie taking flight. Top cats in the game, yeah, we running right. Hold tight to your bags, don't get left behind. We build different, Katie world gon' shine. From Ronin to the world, yeah, we taking over. Pause in the game, sitting high like a rover. We ain't stopping, this just the start. Katie world forever, etched in art. Yeah, yeah. Katie world gon' shine. Yeah, yeah.
All right, my bros. I think that means it's time to get this show on the motherfucking road. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is for you. Yo, we're here. We're back. It's Tuesday. What up? Shout out to everyone that's in the chat, bro. Big up my boy Ryan in the chat. Gooseman out here vibing. Robocop's always first, bro. I don't know who's going to beat him being first to our chat section. Every single Ronin Radio. W's for you, my bro. Spliffy's in the building. Yo, we're going to get heavy fud. I love it. Coral's in the building too. He's got the cats on deck. Yo, if you got a kitty, if you're a kitty fan, if you are already part of their community, show some love. Make some noise in the chat. Because today's going to be a big show for them. I got the behind the scenes tour, so I'm pretty bullish, bro, on like their capabilities. So we're going to talk about that today. And if you've never heard of Kitty on the Ronin Network, well, today is your lucky day. You're going to find out all this stuff. I took the whole weekend off. I can't lie. I disconnected like fuck, bro. I didn't open anything. I was fresh home. Which is like I was fresh out the jail cell, the in real life jail cell on Monday morning, locked back in. I can see something, ladies and gentlemen. I can see the signs of summer. I can see the sun. Look at it. It's in my fucking eyes, bro. I can see it, right? The light's shining through. Ronin seems like it's turning a corner. And one statement that rings true with me right now is most things out here have been heavy focused on quantitative growth. Ronin, qualitative growth. Can we back that statement up? I've also got my boy Stark back in the building today. I miss him so fucking much. And he's here. But whoa, yo, this is how we're starting the show today. Crazy. Check out this fucking fresh trim. I'm wearing a hat because I haven't had a haircut for 2 months. Look at this fresh trim by my brother, bro. Oh, good morning.
Bro, come on now. Well, why you gotta put me on like that?
Because you look sexy, bro. Let's get it, yo. Yo, putting my boys on 2025. That's the vibes right now, yo. Look at his fever's looking good.
The market conditions, they didn't allow me for a haircut, but I had to attend a wedding, so I was like, oh shit. All right, I guess we'll go to piggy bank for this one.
Yeah. You gotta reconnect your mic though for real, because it's defo on the wrong one. Let's fucking.
I realized. Hello, can you hear me? Is it working?
I'm going into your settings. I'm gonna edit it for you in a second. Either way, look at the fresh trim. The trim is better than the sound right now. You don't need to hear him. You just need to see him. The trim is speaking for itself. Anyway, my fucking brother, I love him. He's here. It's Stark. Good morning.
Hello. Stark. If you're feeling fresh after taking a weekend off, how fresh must I be after 2 weeks?
Starks, no, yo, oh man, we definitely missed the presents. I'm glad you're back in the building. Yeah. I mean, you sent me a message over the weekend and this morning, about your focus. I don't know if you want to share that with the people today. You've been away.
Focus, it was like the angle that I was gonna things I want to talk about, or it was the thoughts I was having a bit this weekend, centralizing around because there's I don't know if you guys have heard, but there's quite a bit of FUD around Ronin at the moment.
Oh no, really? Fuck.
And so my thing, because how I research things, even like news and everything in real life, is I try to get as extreme as points of view on either side as possible, right?
Yeah.
And so at the moment, I'm still torn between, not torn, I'd say, because it's not about, there's no exact answer, but about, are the people just mad because the token's down? Or like basically, where do we stop? Where do you put the meter in between the two about like the validity of a lot of the comments and a lot of the thoughts, or is it just the token price? Because it's like anything on social media. As soon as you see it on crypto Twitter, as soon as there's like a politics, when it's about politics, everyone's a political expert. Then it's war, so everyone becomes a geopolitical expert, and then there's things on tokens and everyone's a token, and then things on lawsuits about Twitter and everyone's a lawyer. So it's just like, who do you believe? Who's just blabbing about, and who do you listen to?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello.
You sound so much better. Oh,
Yeah,
you matched
it was
the trim now.
I don't know why it was on the webcam mic. Yeah.
It does that for me sometimes too. It like connects straight to the camera mic. I'm like, why would you do that? But hey. Okay, so everybody is here. Chat, are you excited for today, bro? What do you think? What is it really? Is it just the nature of Ron Price being down? Because like we haven't regressed in ability. If anything, we've added to the arsenal. People are like, oh, gotcha machines aren't going to save Ronin. But this is like, it's a brick by motherfucking brick, brother. Bigger picture. I honestly think that, even the approach is very difficult to apply. Like, what's the bar that do you put people's like FUD around? Like, what are they actually mad at? Because everybody's in a different position. And we spoke about that before, and how like, the involvement is always going to be a different perspective from a person who is investing on a short term to try and quick flip, and they invested like $70. Fuck me, like, hopefully we get there. 70 cents, and now it's like 47. So they're gonna look at Ronin like, oh, Ronin's dog shit, bro. Whereas if you invested at 25 cents a few years ago with like a 10-year investment plan, like you're probably nowhere near the same feelings as the other person. So either way, welcome to the game. It's a complicated 4D, maybe even 5D chessboard that occurs here. So ready up, my players. Either way, let's jump into the main portion of today's show. We have Kitty World here as a feature. I'm going to be bringing on Fat Kitty. Oh, I love me a fat kitty. You know them fat lazy kitties that just like purr and want you to rub their belly?
Garfields.
Yes. Hey, that's you pulled that one out of the bag. And we also got Pervana one in the building too. So we're gonna bring them both up. No doxing on this side though. We got the PFPs on Smash. And yeah, to be honest, I don't suppose a lot of people have full exposure to Kitty World itself. We're talking about an on-chain gaming universe here. Utilities of AI-driven gameplay that are going to occur in their experience, collectible NFT companions, a lot of diversity there. And also they build a lot of tools to help scale their own projects, but also can be plugged in for other projects too, which means this is a team that is going to assist the development scaling on Ronin. And that is something that I am really, really, bullish on, and glad to be able to talk to the people that have a focus like that. So let's bring them onto the stage. Pavana One and Fat Kitty are in the building. Yo, the cats are here, bro. We got 9 lives. We got 5 guests. We're close to 9 lives, but morning, Fat Kitty. What's good, brother?
Oh, thank you so much for having us on. Yeah, we're pretty excited. Ronin back in the day was our home place, man. And we swung back through here to do this project because we saw that Ronin was open. So we're terribly excited to be here. And I know Pervana's got a whole thing he likes to share when we introduce ourselves. So I'm not going to steal his thunder. He is our marketing extraordinaire. So I will waiting for his little microphone to go off mute there. I don't think.
Yeah.
There he goes.
Let's get it. Some of you guys actually, if you tuned into the Ronin Radio before, you might recognize this voice. But Pavana, bro, I think with that type of an intro, a little setup, you just got alley-ooped you got to dunk it right now on the introductions. Let's introduce you guys. You know, let's introduce Kitty World, and let's let people on Ronin know exactly what you guys, who you guys are, and what you guys are doing.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I hope you guys can hear me clearly.
Yes, it can. A bit of
Okay.
wind. Are you using one of those
Yes,
headphone
I am.
mics?
Yes, I
Yeah,
am.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
what
Just
it is, I'm
keep
not.
keep it out of the blow zone.
Okay,
You know.
that's no problem. I'm not in my normal environment right now, so I'm making do with what I've got right now. So it's nice to meet all of you guys. Although I've had a conversation with Keeler before and showed him quite a few of our products, it's the first time I'm meeting 1437 and Stark. How are you guys doing?
I was there. I was there when you came on the Ronin radio.
Oh, was you? Okay.
Yeah, I remember you. I
Yes,
remember
this
very
is
clearly. Back in the good
basically
days.
I
yes.
recognize your
From
voice,
yes,
actually.
from that actual space, that's where I actually got brought onto the team. And they actually heard me speaking and they brought me in as a marketing advisor. And after a few months being with them and showing them my actual knowledge of what's actually here, they actually brought me in as a co-founder now. So this is where
Nice.
I take the actual role of explaining the project, exactly what they're trying to do and their vision moving forward. So that's just a little bit about what I do. And it's great that you guys remember my voice. So this should be a perfect conversation.
Yes, let's. This is the. Like, I'm just gonna start here, right? The website. When you guys, when you specifically, Pavana, gave me a tour through, your products and what it is that you guys were doing. I was really impressed with the quality of your guys' product. So, I gave it a brief explanation about like an on-chain gaming universe, with collectible NFTs, then the ability to, develop tools to scale and those types of things. But I wonder if you guys have like maybe an elevator pitch deck or something that you guys, get across to people when they first get exposed to Kitty, and then we can do like a guided tour through some of the services and things that you guys have built to date.
Oh
That's
boy, did
no
you set him up perfect.
Sonic Boom. No,
That's what we
basically.
do, bro. That's why we're here. Eh?
Basically what it is with Kitty World, it's a multifaceted project. It's basically a gaming solution. We're a fully registered entity corporation. You can check it out anywhere. You can Google us. You'll see who we are, what we do, and what it is. What our thesis, it's about growing and providing the tools that are needed to grow an ecosystem and also to make our game that we're focusing sustainable, because we've seen a lot of games come and we've seen a lot of games fail. And most games, we look at them as projects, and projects actually acquire funds. They take a lot of funds to actually get the vision complete. So, what we decided is that we're going to build a fully built out gaming solution where there's different pillars that actually create sustainability around the whole vision of the game. Although the main vision is the game, we've realized that there's a lot of failure. And the failure is because as soon as you get funding, you are trying to make sure you continue to give your players utility. And that's what you do as a game. So, how do you sustain that after a period of time once that funding's run out? So, how we try to tell people about Kitty World is that we're a multifaceted system that is built on sustainability and agileness, which means we can move with the times with crypto. And as you know, the market system can change from day to day, hour to hour, and attention span. So that's the way we've built our project to be adaptable and agile and also fun. A fun
Yeah.
ecosystem with a lot of things to do. Because one thing that we realized once we've done a lot of research before we actually launched this project. This is me actually going through everything that was actually relayed back to me. What it is
Yeah.
that Ronin is a gaming chain. When it became permissionless, it also opened the doors for other avenues of earning capabilities and retention. And what we saw with most of the games, after playing them and farming them, what do you do after? After you've made your money, there is nothing else to really do. So we've realized that going about the way that we've launched the project, this is the perfect way for sustainability. So that's what Kitty World is all about. It's about a multifaceted, sustainable ecosystem.
Yes. Yeah. So a lot of what like you're referencing or referring to here is the fact that like the project itself, you know, in this industry, they come here with a game experience, they raise a bunch of money to kind of complete each step of the process to get that product or application shipped. And thereafter, there isn't, unless they see like a tremendous success that's projected, you know, when they're raising funds, they tell them exactly, you know, the great points and how this can be. And if certain elements of that aren't like accomplished or achieved, you kind of get this roadblock where the sustainability of the project is difficult, right? Like it doesn't sustain itself, the road doesn't continue. And Kitty's approach is, of course, yes, to provide the application of a game, because that's the industry that we're in and the important part, the important application, but also to build like a multifaceted, I guess, company that provides other applications or other tools that also will encourage forms of revenue. And I think that's just like the bottom line here is that like you have more avenues for revenue by building more tools or assets out from the project itself, right?
Think
That's
about it
correct.
when we were all introduced into investing, right? If you just boil it down, even outside of crypto, one of the first things you're taught economic wise, if you're going to be an investor, is to have diversified streams of income, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, how do you sustain gaming outside of going back to the community and sucking out liquidity through mints and everything else and token drops and VCs? What's another way to so you would create a different stream of income, right? And when we looked at Ronin and said, there's some gaps in the marketplace here. Ronin has been closed. It's now open, right? What are some services and some tools that could help the mass adoption for Ronin? Because make no bones about this. We are Ronin chain lovers, right? This is our home. This is what we consider home. So we came back here when they said it was open to not only produce the game that we've been dreaming about, but if Ronin's going to be open, we want to be the catalyst for mass adoption, right? How do you bring more people into your ecosystem? You make it truly permissionless. And since we had a project, if we build the tools and make them affordable, it becomes both an inviting place for developers to come and adopters to come. It also has a revenue stream for us to continue building the game. So it's just kind of it's a multi-prong attack, and it's basically investment 101, guys, right?
100%. I think a lot of the industry, if we like peel back the layers, it is kind of like fueled off of bad investment or almost like just careless investment. I think the period of time in 2021, in that bull market, and then the year prior to that, 2 years even prior to that, and then a year post that, there was like this understanding that pretty much anything you threw money at would appreciate in some way, shape, or form, just because of the scale at which the impressions on crypto was growing and the flows of liquidity that were coming into crypto at that time period. So like I feel like there was a lot of blasé investment where it was like shotgun approach, anything can really succeed here, so let's just throw a bunch of money at loads of different things, and if like maybe a few of them succeed, we'll return on investment more than enough and we'll be happy and okay. And we're just getting to the point now where that investment is drying up and the careless investment is kind of not here, and that happens when liquidity dries out, right? And so we're in a different phase. So projects now, like you guys are, they really do have to become a lot more complete as companies, so that the sophisticated investments can be flowed into, projects that are deserving for it. So, I've got the deep dive. I've looked at a couple of the products here. And so I have a firm stance on like, okay, yeah, this makes sense. You guys have revenue streams that definitely are valuable and needed. I guess I want to pass it to you guys to be able to explain those and kind of point those specific channels out anyway, for the audience that are here. So how do you guys plan on not only producing a game, right, the application, but also the other layers of the projects that will influence or inspire those forms of revenue?
Yes. So basically, what we've done so far, as you can see, most of everything we've done is all self-funded. So we've already seen the vision, and the way we look at Kitty World, it's not a project, it's not a game, it's a business first. And what do
Mhm.
businesses do? They bring in revenues. Projects take revenue streams. So that's the way we looked at it. We try to spin it and turn it on its head. We're looking at it as a business first. So that's why we created all the avenues that we did. So if you want to go back to our website now, what we'll
Yeah.
start to talk you through is the journey coming to launch on Ronin. So if you want to go to the first part of the page, which is the actual minting page, if you go to project,
Yeah, this instead here.
yeah, so basically, if you just scroll down a little bit, which will just show. So, guys, this is not just us saying, look, we're showing you the minting page, go and mint. This is us trying to show you guys what we actually did when we first came in. So, the first thing we did was actually reached out to Ronin's marketplace because that's what is in the doc when you come here. The first place you reach out to if you want to launch a project to find out how do you go about getting your collection listed, how does the whole process work? And what we realized is that it was quite a difficult process. And as we knew, Ronin had only just become permissionless. There's always growing pains when something new is actually implemented. So we saw that there was actually a big barrier for new creators coming into the ecosystem and actually utilizing the permissionless of the blockchain. So we approached them and we asked for a few features, including the multi-token minting feature, also minting on their platform with the reveal capability. And we were then told that system is not in place yet. They are looking to implement that, but it's going to be a few months out. You can go to OpenSea because we've got a partnership with them where you can actually go and mint on their platform. And we have been around. We have traded before lots of different blockchains and tokens, and we know OpenSea is exactly what it is, OpenSea with pirates. So it's like ripping off the band-aids off of your community and throwing them in the middle of the sea where pirates are. So what we thought is that we will build something ourselves just to show our capability. So the first thing we built was this multifunction, customizable minting platform. So it looks basic on the front end, but the back end engine is a customizable smart contract where you can adapt any ecosystem token, 10 different tokens, 5 different tokens, pair them with anything and use them on this platform just simply. As you can see from the UI is customizable. And we saw that there was a gap in the market for this. There is no other minting solutions on Ronin. So we thought, okay, why not actually make this a white label product that we can actually then onboard new creators and then also new creators onboard new investors. New investors bring new liquidity. So that's the way we all started looking into Ronin a little bit deeper at what products were available for new creators to actually come in and mint. And as you can see, someone's trying it right now. What we've done, we utilize the dual sign-in capabilities that the Ronin wallet has. As you guys know, sometimes you have to click twice for your transactions to go through. So what we did was utilize that so that your double click didn't seem any different. Your first click was actually transacting the RON, and your second click was transacting the kitty. So we made it so smooth and simple with a simple UI that anyone can fall in love with. It's customizable. So this was the first thing that our team showed the capability of. And we also showed this to the Ronin team and said, look, guys, this is something that we've got, and we will continue to build everything that is needed to actually onboard new users. And I'll stop there now and I'll let you guys ask any questions that you want, because there's 4 products that we're going to go through, and one of them I don't think we'll be able to show them because it's just come off beta mode and it will be released on Sunday. So I'll just stop there.
Yeah, just I'll pass it over to Starko
they haven't-
1.37. If Oh, go ahead, Faki.
No, it's just funny. Our community's freaking out because there hasn't been a one of one minted in quite some time. Like it's been a huge gap. So they're terrified that you just minted a one of one live.
we may have. You know, I was minting more the whilst Pavana was talking, just to like, okay, chat. This is what it is. I'm gonna give out one of these NFTs at the end of the show today. So if you stick around and you're in the comments at the end of the show, we're gonna give one of these NFTs out to you guys. But I was just testing the product out, and I just want to summarize real quick, like on Pavana. Pavana has like this brain where he's got so much information, and I can tell that he's passionate and caring about delivering the key points of you know, the conversation that we're talking about. But in summary, you know, coming to Ronin as an independent developer, wanting to put your NFTs, your assets, or your tokens onto the Ronin blockchain, it is not such a simple process. Like, bottom line, it just really isn't. The roads to do that directly on the Ronin marketplace are not so they're not as simple as you would think. And then OpenSea, of course, is an environment in where untrained users or brand new users may face some difficulties. So Kitty World went and developed this platform themselves in which you can mint tokens onto the Ronin blockchain. And they also have this smart contracted approach where you can combine two tokens to actually produce the liquidity to mint the asset itself. So that's kind of what we're looking at right here with the Kitty Worlds platform. I wonder if any of you guys, Stark or Theben, you know, have any takes. There's more products that we're going to dive into, but at this point, you know, having heard the things that you have heard, I wonder, is there anything?
Yeah.
You guys are
Honestly, I just want to say I'm very happy to have you guys here. I think there's a lot of things that I understood, which is, you know, the Ronin team is quite busy, right? They do a lot of things, and it's nice to have other builders like taking on some of that work and like just being like, yo, we're gonna do it ourselves and just go out and build it, right? Instead of just like sitting around waiting around. I think especially when Ronin turns around and like we find a bottom, and then, you know, people start coming back in slowly, and then at some point they're gonna need products like this. Like you said, there's a big like friction going on, right, with Ronin and like new builders. You have to go through like this whole vetting process, and like if you're not already known, then it's going to be tough to like launch something and so on. So you guys are like kind of solving that, right, for everyone. And then I'm assuming you're going to be building other products too to solve. So you're like priming yourself and like positioning yourself for when that eventually happens. So
You're not wrong,
thank you.
brother. And the truth is, he's going to get into it, is it's built, right? We're not building it. It's all built. We are
Built,
here.
yeah.
We are ready.
Okay.
It's the permissionless thing, because we started out as degens just like everybody else did, right? We used to buy NFTs and play games, and we still do, right?
Mhm.
So when we came here, we're like, how do we allow this? And now I'm going to steal one of Pravana's favorite lines here, is this minting platform, for example, right? If somebody wanted to use this, they get in contact with us. We hand this over as a white label product, or we can do it as a subscription model, whatever they want, right? But the back end, and I'm going to use his terminology, the back end for this, you could have your 10-year-old kid load up your collection. That's how permissionless and how simplified the approach is, because we, having explored blockchains, ran into all those barriers. So what are we doing? We're lowering the barrier of entry for mass adoption, both from a technological standpoint and a cost standpoint, right? We are not going to hit you for 10% of your project or that kind of stuff, right? We're not going to make you bring a full stack dev just to do a mint, right? We're going to have you fill out 5 or 6 fields. You're going to own the product, and it's going to be your platform. It's going to be on your website, you know, all these things. Because if you lower that barrier of entry, that's when the mass adoption starts happening. That's when the real builders start coming over here in the big projects. So I'll stop there.
That allows creativity. You know, being candid as well, like Ronin Radio, Moses, different things that like I've run personally as an individual. There's been so many creative ideas that I've wanted to action upon, but without having that dev in the inventory or on the team, like you really can't do stuff, right? So like a hurdle that I have personally faced in this space you guys essentially have avenues to climb those and to get over those. So it's something that I'm looking at. I might have to hit you guys in the DM after this. What are we saying, chat? You want a Ronin Radio NFT or what do you think?
That's why. Sorry. I was just going to say, that's why I said first, we're a business first, and business looks at avenues of how they can actually produce products that are market fit. And we're not looking at today, we're not looking at tomorrow, we're looking all the way past the next bull run, because that's where the vision really is right now. Ronin has only just become permissionless. Yes, it's been growing pains for what we've been through. We can sit here and absolutely say what we've actually want to say, but that's not going to help anything, because what Geos and what those guys have actually done, they've done a great job. They've got a lot on their plate, and what they've provided for us to build something on is fantastic. So if we can try and build something and actually do it and go through the hard, rocky roads that other people don't have to go through, and creators, then this is why we're here, and this is why we haven't quit. Just in case you start to go through and
you guys close on your
really, just in case you guys realize how much we've actually done and spent. Keeler has actually seen it, but as we go through, you guys will see our dedication to Ronin and our thesis and our vision.
Yeah. Well, we'll take a look at some more products. Go ahead, Demon.
I was gonna say, man, like I got huge respect for you guys and what you're building, and I can see it. I can see how like you guys are building for the issues that are to come, and like already positioning yourself for it, more than like waiting for the problems to arise, everyone asking for it, and then building it. So I strongly believe that you guys will be rewarded in due time. Right, it's just a matter of like patience now, and this is like exactly what Tantal was asking for. Like he was like, "Yo, we need real builders out here on like Ronin. Like we need more." And we know a lot of people are making games and so on, but like these kind of tools is what we actually do and will need more of. So I don't know if you talked with Tantal or the Moku team, but I feel like
the Kitty token was actually launched on the Fair Launch platform on Tama Meme, and that was you can avoid some with tokens. It is what it is. If you haven't launched a token, you might not know these things. If you don't run a business again that you trying to pursue Web3 or crypto involvement, you might not understand these things. But like having a fair launch platform to launch a token that revolves around an ecosystem like Kitty actually presented a lot of benefits. So they launched in the era of Tama. The token is live on Ronin right now. You could go and acquire some Kitty right now if you wanted to on Katana, and that plugs into the rest of the ecosystem. We also saw on the website, and I'm going to go back just to quote it so I don't get this wrong, but the Kitty tokenomics, or the allocation at least, 66% of that is open market. There's 23% that are just straight locked tokens, and I think this will go into the conversation of another product that you guys are delivering. And then when we talk about projects normally in crypto, we look at the percentage splits and those fancy pie charts on where the tokens are actually going, and a lot of it ends up being like the team in just wolf in sheep clothing ways. But initial team allocation 3%, development allocation another 3%, and then the additional team allocation 5%. So in like a grand total, if you were to say the team is getting 11%, there's going to be 23% locked tokens, and the rest is just fair game, open market, and the tokens are already out there. The contract exists on Ronin. It's a pretty simple outline for the distribution of the token, at least. But I was starting to get there. There is a product that you guys have developed, right, where those locked tokens do exist.
Yes.
Do we want to go into
if you
if we want to go
over to that next, I'll answer that other question really quick. Yes, we've talked to Hantao. Yes, we've talked to the folks over at Sky Mavis, and they gave us some really good advice. They were full of trepidation because we were new. They haven't really come around warm and fuzzy to us. And I get it with Sky Mavis, right? They have your reputational thing, right? They can't just mint anybody's collection because they are Sky Mavis. So they need, in my opinion, they need a permissionless layer that's a little bit free of them. Because listen, what happens with crypto is when you're successful, you have the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? if you're not constantly battling rugs and FUD and everything else, then you're not really a big blockchain, right? So you have to accept it all. So I get that Sky Mavis didn't want to jump into bed with us really right away and mint our collection and everything, but there needs to be a permissionless layer that allows anybody to come in and build and not hurt Sky Mavis's reputation. And that's kind of the gap that we were trying to fill here. And if you roll up to the top, you can get into our staking platform there. Yeah. And that's what Pravana is going to get into.
Let's get it. I've got the staking platform open on the side here, so we'll just switch right over.
Boom! Look at you. Go ahead.
Yes. Pravana, the floor is yours, my friend. We got a staking platform. What does this mean? What is the functionalities? Let's dive into it.
Yeah, basically, this came about because of another problem we actually hit. Again, we realized that most of the other projects on all other blockchains that have a token, the first thing they have is a staking mechanism, which actually helps support the market volatility. So people don't just get their token, go and dump them straight away on the secondary market because there's actually nothing to do with it. There's no incentivization to actually hold on to those tokens. And that's where we see massive volatility. So we started looking around on Ronin to see, okay, where can we get a staking platform? Who can actually build us a staking platform? Then we realized it was only the project who's had a value over $1 million plus within Ronin that actually had their own staking platform. And we thought, wow, okay, no problem. We started to reach out to other builders within the ecosystem. And I think the first actually reply we opened, our chair actually broke. I fell down on the floor and I had to look again at the actual figure that was quoted to us. It was $15,000 plus for just the front end for a staking platform. So I emailed them back. I said, where's the rest of the car? So basically after that we just looked at it and we said, you know what, this is impossible. A new project coming into Ronin who hasn't got much funding, a staking platform shouldn't cost them no more than $3,000 maximum, unless they want it as a Boeing Jumbo 747 flying, singing and dancing. Yeah, that's the only reason it should cost a lot. But then we looked at it and we thought to ourselves, look, why are we going to do what everyone else has done, which is just give you our token? We thought we'll reinvent the wheel for this one. We made it a multi-token reward distribution platform. So on there, if you have the entry period, which is the lockup, the intermediate, advanced, and diamond, if you scroll down to the bottom, where it says staking tier. Yeah, right there. If you have a look at there, the longer you lock up your token, the more tokens you get as rewards. And these are tokens that we acquired through our token swap drip mechanism that we created when we first started to actually partner with other projects that was launching on Tamameme around that time. So we acquired these tokens and we locked them up for 60 days. And then we thought, what better way than us giving them back to our community instead of giving them to the team, giving them to ourselves. As I said, we're self-funded. We do have high-paid jobs. This is the reason why we've been able to fund as much as we've done. We've put out nearly 2,000 artwork. You can do the maths on that. So what we thought, we would do a multi-token distribution. So at any time, we can put a new partner's token on there. We can do anything we want with this platform here. We've made it easy, accessible, that our holders can now come and stake their tokens and earn multiple tokens while locking up their one token, which is something I haven't really seen unless it's a platform asking you to try something on their testnet and they're giving you a test token that you'll be able to swap for their main token. So we've made this a multi-token distribution platform. And yes, it looks quite confusing on the front end, Gila. I've showed you the back end. We've designed it for a 10-year-old. So you don't need no coding skills, nothing at all. You don't even need to know how to speak English. And you can literally fill in all the information and have everything literally showing on the front end.
Will it cost $15,000 if somebody wants this from us?
No, that's not where we're at. So,
okay.
No. No, it won't cost that. But what we're trying to show, this is us showing our skills again as a team of how agile we can be, because we built the first customizable platform for minting. That would have normally taken a team nearly 3 months. We've done that in literally, I think, 14 days. The multi stake and reward platform, 14 days, literally built that, had it out, everything. And as you scroll down, you can see it's talking about the dispatch mission, which we'll get onto in a second. But I'll open the stage to you guys to ask about the multi reward distribution staking platform.
Yeah. But I mean, you guys turned over products
I got a
pretty damn
quick
quick.
question before we like about this one. Then, what kind of like audits do you guys do for these kind of contracts?
At the moment, we do our own internal audits because we do have junior devs and we have our senior dev, and our senior developer. He's the one who goes over everything, checks everything over. And as we start to move forward and we start to get funding, we will be paying for an outside audits. But as we've known, our contracts out there, people can see our contracts. Anyone who wants to come and have a look at what we're doing, we're open to that. We're just not open to making it open source right now because we are the only people who have built this. So making it open source is like, here is the keys to my house, not my car, my house. Yeah. You can step into my bed whenever you like. So we do go through stringent audits. We do go through beta testing as well, so that the community can go through every single aspect, check everything, make sure that their tokens are returned, make sure that the contract is safe before we even put it out to the wider public. And that's the same thing we've just finished with our payments dispatch mission. So we do our own internal audit. But as we move forward and we start to grow, that is when it's needed for a higher auditing. And at the moment, it's a waste of money for us to go and do that when we haven't even acquired that set of funding yet.
Of course.
That answered your question.
Yeah, that's fair. Everything says fair.
Yeah.
Quick answer. For
go ahead, Fat.
Yeah, just a quick answer. RoboCop, you said, do you think that launching a minting platform on Sky Mavis is in direct competition? The answer is no. I went into that just a little bit. Sky Mavis has a reputation, right? They are Ronin. They're going to endorse and mint projects that they like 100% can vet and get behind it. And even then, they're going to get burned once in a while. Somebody's going to rug on them, right? So when you have a new up and coming blockchain that's newly open, you have to have a permissionless layer that protects the big name brands reputationally, right? Because you don't want to discourage builders from coming here by being a gatekeeper, right? At the same time, you don't want to just mint everybody as the big name in the ecosystem. So I don't see this as a competition with Sky Mavis. I see this actually as a supplement for them or an avenue for them to help continue to open Ronin and not take that reputational risk. So
it's a great stepping stone for new builders, right? Essentially,
100%. You guys, the focus is definitely clear, and the resolutions that you bring like are vivid, and actually I think in demand. Like they are needed, especially as we scale, and even for existing community members, builders that maybe don't have the technical capabilities to do these things. They're arguably looking for an avenue to do that. My question really is about, and it is in relation to the direct competition. Would you guys be willing, if there was communication opened up and the situation came about where it's like, okay, yes, this actually is a product that does defend Sky Mavis in a great way and also adds scale and opportunity to the Ronin ecosystem. But could you guys contribute to, say, the Ronin treasury? Can I say it?
No, you say it.
I'll answer this.
Here we go.
I'll be quiet.
I'm sure you guys have seen us in about Ninefold's marketplace. Now, I'm just jumping the gun here. Ninefold's marketplace is basically a supplement for all of the problems that we see for Ronin and Sky Mavis at the moment. It's a fully customizable marketplace with features you can shake a donkey on there. It has every single features, including a customizable launchpad where any creator can come and launch their projects in minutes, in seconds. It's literally built to plug into the back of Sky Mavis. We have offered it to them. We said, we don't even care about the fees. We don't care about the money. We just want a bit of endorsement as builders. And we have built what you guys actually need to be plugged in into the back of your marketplace. So we've got a fully customizable marketplace that we've been forced to just now say we're bringing it out ourselves. We do not want to be in competition with them. We're not here to be in competition. We are here to excel and grow the ecosystem. And competition, yes, it fuels innovation, but when you're in competition with the head of the chain, it doesn't make any sense. So all we're trying to do is fuel innovation. And as you can see from the video there, it shows you everything that we're not building it. We've built it already, but we're just taking time to roll these things out, because then people are going to start saying, what basements are you guys locked in? And they might start sending people around to see if we're doing some sort of child coded labor, you know, for the amount of things that we've knocked out. So yes, we've literally got auction capabilities. It's everything that Sky Mavis needs to be plugged in and make it totally permissionless. And yes, we have offered it to give it to them for free. So the revenue sharing, if they offer that, we would be jumping to the skies for that. Well,
yeah, we offered to turn this over to them, and all we asked in return was a small revenue share, tiny, and acknowledgement that we are builders in your ecosystem. And we've heard crickets about that.
Yeah, you know what it is they're very cautious, like overly cautious. We know the history, right? Like we got the hack and like other things, and Sky Mavis even before that was very secretive about like what they're doing and what's being built. So I'm not too surprised about that, but I do think like in time and as you continue to like market your products and showcase to people, and like I think what you gotta get past is like the authenticity layer, right? Because to be fair, people aren't really familiar with the team, right? And in this industry, it's a lot about like how much do you actually trust the team, right? Like there's so many different ways that people have been burned in the past, and I can see that you guys are real builders. Like I mean, it's very clear to me, right? There's a lot of opportunities where you could have just been like, oh fuck this, like I'm out, right? But
listen,
like
our token went to 250K off of Tamameme, right? If we were going to rug, that was the moment.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Can you please point? I mean, our token's sitting below 30K right now, and we've built more than anybody. Like, point to another project that came through all those months ago that has stuck it out and provided the value we've studied. So I would agree with you. In the first 90 days, we're the unknown, we're the scary guys. Nobody, we don't know you guys enough. We don't trust you enough. But what's the tipping point for that, my friend? I mean, how many tools do we have to build?
No. It's not really about the tools that you build, right?
Or the
it's
reputation, for that matter.
It's yeah, exactly. It's more so about like who's using it, right? And how they speak of it, right? That is actually more important than like how many tools you actually build. I think that's pretty much like the next stage here. I can see, like I said, I'm with you guys. I can see that you guys are real builders. I appreciate you guys, and like I want to see you guys win. Like that's, and I don't really say this like often on a show, right? But I want to see you guys win. I think you guys are doing great work, and when you get to be seen, there's like I can see the value y'all bringing. Is what I want to say.
You're right. It takes one project to take a gamble on us, right? One decent project comes in and uses the tools and is able to showcase it. I think that's the catalyst. That's always the case, right?
Yeah.
But you can imagine the
and
frustration.
It's also growing pains. And what we have to remember is that as a team, we know that Ronin has just gone permissionless. It's not something that's even a year old as yet. So there are going to be growing pains. And you know what? Growing pains can be fixed. Because if you leave them, they then become thorn in your sides that you can't be fixed. So right now, we understand what what's actually going on. So we're not taking it as you guys, we don't like you. We're taking it as, look, you're not doing enough. And that's how I am. I
Right.
feel like we're not doing enough. So that's why I keep on pushing the team and keep on pushing them and say, look, we need to do more. We need to show more. And even going down to not knowing the team or having a face behind the team, it then goes back to business acquisition. What have we taken for us to jeopardize our Web 2 jobs at the moment?
Right.
It's like risk to rewards at the moment. Although we have a vision, we're also spending our own money to show this vision. So with time, it will come that, look, although these guys are not docs, you can see they've got an actual registered company, which is a business you can go to. It's registered within the UK. You can search everything up. And I'm sure Gila knows what the processes are with actually a registered.
Go to company houses, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly. You'll be able to
find
find everything. You can find everything. And see, this is the thing. We've also got other building stuff of the KTTY World gaming solutions that we have to be very careful with.
Yeah, I was
So
gonna say
as
careful.
as time progress, you will see more and more of the team's faces, and you guys will get to know the team more. And that's why we're taking our time in building out what we're building. And we haven't been on the timeline screaming, oh, this, that. We've just got our heads, we've locked the door in the basement, and we've shut out the noise, and we've continued to build. So, Gila, whenever you're ready, sir, we can move on to my favorite girl, which is Cora.
Yes, yeah, we're gonna go look at the. I think there's two more stages, right? The AI application, and then also the tamers themselves. I want to say this though, like just at this point of the conversation, so that I don't like lose it in throughout the rest of it. But like there is definitely security measures to be taken around like the doxing. Obviously, me, Stark, and Thiemann are out here, no condoms, just fucking raw. But like, I understand. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'll put you in the same like whatever. Well, I'm out here fucking raw, okay. But like,
all right.
I will say this, right? I will stand on business with this, where after Tama Meme, we developed a community called Moses Community. It's part integrated with the Ronin Radio community as well. I believe it to be, the most authentic community, especially revolving around, the Ronin ecosystem, real gamers, real participants. A lot of people may have been burnt over the last few years, but they're here and they believe in the long-term vision. I actually think there is some experimentation that could bring, a community with authenticity and with authentic value that like stretches into a lot of other communities here in Ronin. With using your guys' services, I think that could be a way to draw attention to the things that you guys are building here. So it's not really so professional to do like live discussion about this, but I think it helps kind of show that faith, like having the conversation we've had outside of the show and then also here on the show. Like I do believe in it.
I hate to speak out of school, but I'm going to do just a little bit. Hantel's seen my face. We've had a face-to-face. Okay.
Yeah.
We did a live. And it's a math problem. Pervana kind of alluded to it a little cheekily earlier. But I want you to just look at the dollars, right? From the NFT minting to the token, right? And think to yourself, how much could the team have really brought in? And the short answer is bupkis, right? That's a whole right. We haven't brought in very much money. We have these Web 2 jobs, these IRL stuff that do not 100% condone our activity, right?
Yeah.
And when we're at a tipping point where we can risk that doxing, then we will. The truth is, you're going to be extremely disappointed because we are nobody. Right? We don't have some gigantic Twitter following. We haven't been, the blockchain degens of all degens. You're going to be extremely disappointed, right? That we're just a bunch of knuckleheads that really understand how crypto moves. We really understand how to build ecosystems. And what it all comes from is our trial and error over the years I mean, he could show you an Axie wallet from way back in the day. Right?
No, they're going to be upset that I paid nearly $4,000 for an Actinius worth of that. Let's move on, guys.
Let's keep it moving.
Yeah, let's
This
move
is
on.
actually something that's interesting, though. This product here, like, we saw the return of Jihos, right? Jihos' AI on the timeline yesterday,
Nice.
which was part of some of the news that we were going to distribute here. But I think, you know, AI support systems and are really, really something that has been, you know, we've been underexposed to in this industry. You know, determining off of the success of what AI and AI tokens have done, like why are AI applications and actually utility not showing themselves as much. This is Cora. I know Pavana loves her to death. And, you know, there's a few people around the world that are falling in love with AIs. I hope this isn't the scenario that we're going to encounter right here. But this is Cora. It's an AI system that helps or just it totally understands the kitty world. So if in your free time you would like to go and ask more questions of the ecosystem, Cora is a system developed to actually answer any of your questions. And yeah, Pavan, I'll let you take over and kind of dive into this. We can ask a few questions.
I'll be really quick about this one. Basically, Cora is our modular system. What she does, she governs the whole of Kitty World gaming solutions. So not just Kitty World. So she has answers to everything within our ecosystem. She governs, she learns, she adapts, so that when we do go into the game, there's NPCs. There is different type of interactions within the marketplaces. So what she's really doing from the beginning of time is actually learning and adapting to her users of how they actually interact, how they ask questions. If they ask certain questions, sometimes she'll put out, maybe you should ask me this question in a different way, and you might actually get a different outcome. So what she's a learning modular system that governs our whole entire ecosystem. Where you normally see most projects, they have a rigid white paper, which 5 years down the line, they've put a mechanism in place and they can't change it. What we've done with Cora is made her our flexible white paper. She is not rigid, so she's updating in real time what's actually going on with the project. So if you go to the white paper and there's something missing, you can actually come into here and ask her, why is this missing? And she will actually elaborate on what's actually going on. So she's a living, not a living, well, she's a learning modular system. And I've kind of boiled it down from when the last time we spoke, Gila. So yeah, she's just a living modular system that actually learns and updates so that when the game comes out, she knows how the users actually interact with her. And she's actually right now, she was actually down for about 2 days where she was being updated with the new dispatch mission, which we've just finished the beta test, which has been absolutely crazy. Our communities absolutely loved the beta test. They loved us building out in the open with it and actually implementing new features, and it's crazy, but that's for another day because it's not live yet. It's out on Sunday to the public, but our beta test is now closed. But basically, Cora, any question you can think about that you want to ask that the team's not there, Cora will be able to answer it for you. And if she doesn't, then she sends messages to certain people, and then they will have to go and investigate and update her modular system. So she governs everything to do with our world. And as we know, everything's moving into AI. Wouldn't you like to go into a shop and go to the vendor and ask the vendor something, and the price that the vendor's giving you is matching a real-time shop item? I'm going to say less. Continue, sir.
Yes. No, you definitely have an eye for where things are heading. The puck is going and being there as well. So, but if you want to go entertain yourself today, you'll find more out about the kitty world. You can go and query Cora on such things. One thing she did mention here, and we briefly touched on it, the dispatch missions. So this is where the NFT involvement is. And I did ask Cora the question of like, what are the NFTs in this ecosystem? What are they doing? She gave the detailed information about how staking rewards. So those NFTs, if they are, you can actually earn, right? Saying here, Tamers who stake a significant amount of kitty tokens can receive limited edition NFTs as part of their rewards. The importance of NFTs in staking is emphasized, particularly at higher staking tiers. But also, she went on to talk about the dispatch missions. So this is going to be the utility aspect of the NFTs themselves. So you're going to send them out on dispatch missions. How close are we to dispatch missions? Can we get a glimpse at them? I know you just did beta tests, but what exactly is dispatch missions going to be?
Basically, dispatch missions is just a new way of really gamifying staking at the moment, because as you know, most games they start and mint. If they don't mint out, then the game don't get built, or they normally mint out and you're waiting 2 years, a year, 6 months, 8 months down the line with absolutely nothing to do with the NFTs. So what we did, we thought, look, instead of just creating a simple staking mechanism, what we did, we gamified it. So now you can actually send your tamers out on missions. There's different hour durations of these missions where you can send them out, and they can actually come back with in-game items which you will have to use to craft materials, which varies from legendary. If you go to, it will be on our news section. Sorry, if you go to the news section on our website, you'll be able to
you're
see.
in the Git book right now.
Yeah, you're in
go
the
to the website.
Yep.
Like the project news?
Yeah.
Yes, the project news, yeah. And then you should see the last update where it says developers blog dispatch.
There you go.
Beautiful. Got a catchable image.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is you hitting certain things right here. Yeah.
We're trying to go with the Ronin vibes right now. Everyone's loving the Pokemon, so we thought, look, we can't take the Pokemon image. We'll remake it. So what we did, our artists literally made up for us. So basically, with the dispatch mission, you can go out. Different sort of rareables, bring them back so that when the game does come, it gives you a little bit of an advantage, because most players they buy stuff within the game, and it gives them an advantage above everyone else, which doesn't really make it fair. But what about people who come in early? Now we're giving them an advantage to actually acquire some of these items to be able to craft stuff. And what we've done, we've really gamified it where you can actually sometimes come back with Tamers NFTs, come back with Xyz, come back with Fishing Frenzy. So what we're doing is trying to support other projects within the ecosystem and gamify something where you can actually see different seasons changing, different items coming back, different rareables. So there's different archetypes. So what we've done is really gamified it, so that you need to have matching teams to get the right synergy to go out on certain missions. Otherwise, you come back with a lower item. So this is just literally to keep our community engaged and continue to build out an ecosystem. And as we were saying to you at the beginning, this is what businesses do. They don't want their members and holders to leave and go somewhere else. So what we're trying to do is create avenues and mechanisms within our ecosystem that keeps them there. So, okay, now they've minted the NFT. They don't have to wait for the game. They can use it on the Tamers mission. Now, once they've got the loot from the Tamers mission, there'll be an in-game market where they can actually trade it. So that's creating its own ecosystem. So we've really tried to push the boat out with this dispatch mission. And once again, this is another
there
tool.
really is a gamified, there's a real gamified approach here though. I'm reading through it, the synergy on the missions, you're building a team to send out. The longer you send them out, the higher the rewards, but the more deterministic it is on the synergy and the strategy of the team you send out. There's archetypes, personalities with the NFTs as well, which you can read the white paper to find out more. And then of course, these different components, if you put together the right strategy, you're going to have this opportunity to gain early benefits of being a participant in the ecosystem. So
and increase your boost,
it means I've got to go mint. I've got to go mint another 3 if I'm going to give one out at the end of the show. I've got to mint another 3, so I've got a team of 5. That's what it means.
Something we missed out of there as well, which is something our community members have been talking about, which you will see when it goes live, which is reputational points, which you will be able to gain reputation points by staking your NFT. And as you know, everything right now, it's into InfoFi, and with InfoFi, it's all noise. People are just talking. We don't care about that. What is the
Social
most
fi.
important thing? Social fi. What's the most important thing if you owned a business and you were paying for an advert? What would you like to see from that advert?
That's the conversion rate.
Oh,
Oh,
give that kid a cigar.
oh,
Yeah, that's right.
hey. I'll mute my mic now. You've said it all. We are innovators and we are builders. And you know what? We have our own IRL funding to go forward with our vision. So we saw a tweet that someone said, how are they funding this? We will continue to push the barriers, guys. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. And I'll open the floor up for the questions.
Well, there is a campaign on our Discord to go fund me to get you a new microphone, though. I'll just say that thing.
Yeah. Hey, yo, Becky, you said it. I didn't say it.
It wasn't me. It was our community. They said it in the Discord.
Yeah. Thanks. Yo, shout out to the Kitty community, guys. If you guys are active, I think you're in a good spot. I really do. But you guys got any questions? I really just like the fact how like you guys are not in a position where it's like, oh, we're doing this. It's like, oh, we've done this. This is here. You know, this is launching on Sunday. Then like, you know, that starts to raise the demand, at least to somebody that is not exposed to find out exactly what this is and go ahead and get exposure to it as well. So,
and in case it wasn't clear, shameless plug, all of these products, all of them, including the dispatch missions, right? If another team wants something customized, we will do this for anybody, right? These tools are ready for dispersion to any team that wants.
I was about to ask that because it was like when we were looking at Cora, I was like, is Cora as well modulable for other teams?
You might have to really be nice to Pravana on that one.
Cora is my baby. But if you want it, you want anything, it's on the 14-day turnaround.
So I guess I got a question too. Then, what are the odds of like? I mean, I would love to know what you guys are building next, because I'm sure you like hearing you guys talk, your brains just probably never turn off. And are AI agents somewhere in that picture too?
Yes, it is. Our thesis is to create everything for the foundation for Ronin, so that other creators can come and actually go to a developer's hub and find the tools for them to innovate, because that, as I said earlier, that's what onboards new users, the smaller guys. Yes, it's great going after the $1 million companies, but if you go after the guys who have got $20 in their pockets, there is a lot more of them than the $1 million projects out there. And that's who we're trying to attract. We're trying to build the foundational tools. So yes, there will be AI agents that will be able to trade for you while you're sleeping. Oh, I said too much. Guys, I think that's where we will be bringing it to a closure.
Yeah. Well, no, listen, I mean, we consumed a lot of information over the course of the hour, and I do want to say this in summary, and then also give you guys the floor to wrap it up from your perspective. But you're basically building the road for creatives and for builders that want to start emerging within the Ronin ecosystem. You're building the roads for them to take that journey on, and I think in this open Ronin environment, it's something that we definitely lack and is absolutely needed as we scale. You've got my attention. I've got a lot of creative ideas that are going through my mind right now to do with communities that I operate in, and ideas that I want to act on. So I just want to say that you may not have the limelight or the exposure that you might deserve or need right now, but there's definitely ways in which even just today can help get you guys closer towards that. And based on the products that you guys have built, aside from maybe external auditing and those types of things, you really have put together some fine work. So I want to congratulate you guys on that and getting to this point where we are today. And also thank you for coming on the show, for sure.
Thank you very much. I'll let Pravana have the final word, but from my perspective, this is simple. We're home. Yes, we're entrepreneurs. Yes, we're builders. Yes, we want to make a few dollars and make Web3 our home for good. But what's more important to us, believe it or not, is making Ronin whole, right? When Ronin went open, it was the reason we went running back here and building tools in 14 days and 30 days and this stuff is because this is the place we thought deserved it the most because it's the place that we all met. Right? So go tell a friend, do your likes and shares. This is simple word of mouth, guys. The more of you that are out there talking about, hey, give Kitty World just a shot. That's all it takes. We won't embarrass you. Just tell a friend when we'll get there. Go ahead, Per.
Yeah, no, that's no problem. I just want to say thank you guys very much for having us on your show. We really do appreciate it. You guys have just opened up the limelight for us to be exposed, because one thing when we first spoke, it was about Kitty World being really underexposed. So we do really appreciate this, and everything we're doing is to basically help the guys at the top, because we can see, look, there's a lot of pressure. They've done a great job. We won't have Ronin, we won't have Sky Mavis if it wasn't for them. So anyone out there, don't think that we're trying to be in competition with them. If it gets down to that, then that's what it will be. But right now, we are actually here to grow and build the ecosystem. And don't forget, we've got some game leaks coming soon, guys. And I'm talking
There it
about the
is.
Kitty World game itself. I'm sure you guys have seen all of the 3D worlds that we've already thrown out
Bro,
there.
there was a few images here, like this art style I'm fucking with heavily. So
no,
yeah.
on our Twitter, she's actually walking with the cats. We've actually got the 3D rigged already, walking with the cats on our Twitter. We haven't got it.
I'm gonna go check
On
it out.
Sunday, our whole new website is going to be revamped for the launch. So everything that you're seeing right now won't exist anymore. We're going to literally upgrade the whole website to be a whole gaming hub. So just to let you guys, that's what you've got to look forward coming this week. Is everything's going to be updated. This is version 2 coming up with us, because we're 5 months in, and let's see what happens 5 months from here. Hopefully we can come back and do this again, and maybe this will be with G-Host. Am I hoping for too much?
Oh, Lord.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We're definitely gonna turn some heads with today's show. You know, I want to act as a catalyst. If this is going towards success, I want to act as a catalyst for your guys' success. And yeah, just once again, thank you guys for being here and for building on Ronin, man. Much love.
Well, thank you for not minting the 1 of 1. The community would have killed us all if you would have got
Guys, anything
I'm going back though. I got 2 more, and also we're giving out 1. So if you are still here, stick around. We are gonna do some yapping as we do, me, Stark, and Theban, after this. So stick around. We'll be giving away that NFT to one of you guys in the community by the end of the show. But
we'll also send you an NFT as well, if that's okay, to give away to your community. You know what we'll do? We'll send you a whole team, which is 4 NFTs, which will give 1 person access to our dispatch mission, and they can actually give you the feedback. So 1 person, we want you to give them all 4 NFTs so that they can actually try the dispatch mission for us.
There it is.
Anything you guys want, we're always open. Our DMs are open. Let us know anything, and this is out to the wider community. We're always available. Ask our community. We're always there. So anything you guys want, we're available. And thank you very much for having us once again.
Absolutely. Jeez, let's fucking get it. Yo, appreciate the guys over at the Kitty World. I honestly think that this is something. I don't know how you guys feel. A lot of information, all right? I want to say this before we get into the next half of the conversation. Pavana is a fucking G, but he's in the basement with a team for a reason, right? We're in front facing, right? I feel like if Pavana just spoke to me for like 2 hours a day, I'd consume everything that he was saying and then deliver it in like maybe 5 sentences. But at the same time, I think it's needed, right? We need to give exposure to the products. We need to show the people behind the products as well, the team, their passion as well. But no, I really appreciate them coming through today. And honestly, when they did give me the guided tour, I was like, holy shit, how do we not know about this?
I felt like I was quiet because I was like digesting everything. I felt like I was getting that guided tour live, so I was like, shit. You definitely don't think there's all of this under the bonnet when you just see the name Kitty World and you just think, I don't know.
Yeah. You think, just another thing.
And just another game, just another mint, just another whatever. Whereas here there's clearly a lot more thought and effort put into it than a lot of other projects. And I particularly liked the the fact that it feels like the whole pull yourself up by your bootstraps mentality of like, we're not going to wait for Ronin to approval to do this or that. So we'll see. I'll be watching closely to see. I'm more of a cat person. I'm more of a dog person, sorry, but still looks interesting what they're building.
War talk, that is, bro. Some fucking war talk right there. But I mean, bro, as a creator in the space, you know, running Moses, Moses for the longest time, I've had the idea of having Moses NFTs, but had no route or avenue to make that happen. Like the Kitty products or services literally open that door. Like I'm arguably going to go away, think about this, and go ahead and use Kitty, and if that gives them some form of exposure as well, like to develop something, like that's arguably a strategy that we could go through. I'm going to talk about it in the Moses Discord later today, so if you are Moses, come and join that conversation. But yeah, we still have a lot of other news going on and around in Ronin right now. I don't know. I mean, Starkey took a hiatus of sorts. Is anything on the front of your mind as like, holy shit, this has happened since I've been gone? We were spinning the gotcha machine the last time you were here. There have been new things added to that gotcha machine. I don't know if that's
if I've been slow, like following everything. So I guess that's the funny part too, when you like step away for a few days, because when you're in it, it just feels like this every day there's drama, every day there's something. But when you step away for 2 weeks while still following Twitter a bit and everything, you just and you see how quickly things blow over, and you know, so like when you're in it, it just seems like this tumultuous seas, but when you take a step back, it's like much smoother than it seems when you're in it. So
yeah, that question though, is it really just is it just token price, bro? Like really?
Well, I think a lot of it is because here's what I think. I think that people are, there's issues that have been brought up that are probably true and fair to bring up, but they were probably true as well a year ago when Ron was at $4. Like, let's say certain criticisms of the Sky Mavis team, certain criticisms of certain ways things are done, they were just as present, I'd assume, when Ron was at $4. So it's just, it's the flaw in the argument of like kind of blaming it for the price when it was also just as present. You could have blamed it for the success if you're just going to attach certain things to the price point. So yeah, and it's just there's a lot of, everybody's talking about different things, everybody's complaining about different things, and it's just hard to like tune the noise out. Sorry, not the news.
Yeah. Steven, how are you feeling this week? It's a fresh week. You took some time off this weekend. How are you feeling?
You know, we're chilling. I think the Pokemon thing kind of took the wind out of me because, you know, got wrecked a little bit.
Wait, you've been spinning the gacha machine all weekend?
No, not all weekend, but I think at the beginning of the week was doing that, and you know, I later realized like those odds are not that good. Yeah. Like they actually changed it now to make it like it's 100 USDC per spin, and I felt like that was kind of like a slap in the face, to be honest, because everybody who bought higher, and also their pricing on like a lot of their cards was like horrendous, right?
Yeah.
So it was like a little bit misleading. So I think that it left like a sour taste in my mouth, right? Because of that. It's not like I didn't get wrecked in the sense that like, you know, oh, everything is gone. No. It's more so like what was advertised wasn't what it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I mean by getting wrecked. Like I don't like feeling like I was duped or something. But anyway, like today, I mean, opening the week with having Kitty World here, I thought those guys are great, man. Really, I don't really have people come on here and be like, "Yo, those guys are great," right? I very rarely say that. I think the last time I said that about any team was probably like, I don't know, Fableborn maybe before their mint, right? Like exactly, you remember? See, like you know, like that's how rare it is, right? Like and. These guys are like super underrated in my opinion. They're probably missing that element of like how to get attention, right? because those guys are like real builders, and honestly, real builders are not good at getting attention. That like you just know, like they have like a skill that they're good at, but they gotta figure out how to close that gap. And what, because like again, Web3 is attention economy.
Yeah.
You know, that's what
you could almost tell it when you were trying to say it, and then Fat Kitty like interrupted just to try and kind of agree with you, but like it was almost like he was venting at how they wanted
like how much more.
Like,
how much more do they need to do, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck do we need to?
Which is I can understand. I can feel that frustration.
I can. Yeah.
When you're seeing and I you know, like you go around the website, it's just everything's pretty smooth. So they're not just building stuff quickly; they're building it well.
Yeah, it's not some AI slop, right?
Yeah.
The first thing I look at when I look at a project now is like, okay, is this AI slop? Because that's what people fucking do, right? Like even their art, I'm like, I look at art, I look at it very closely. I'm like, is that real art, right? Did they hire someone to do that, or did they just use AI for it? It's real art, man. That shit, like you can tell.
How are you able to tell from art?
You can just tell. You can just tell what was like hand drawn, like by a person. You can you just can. I don't know how else to explain it. Like I've been here long enough to see what's AI and what isn't, right? When it comes to like, you know, like even written work versus like art and so on. Like it's just like intuitive.
It's gonna become a superhuman ability soon.
Yeah. So, and I can tell like these guys truly put not only like their time, but their money, their efforts, their thoughts into all this building. I would feel bad if they don't get the attention that they deserve, but at the same time, like it's a whole nother game, right? And that is a problem that they will need to solve. They need to solve how to get the attention. How do we get to partake? How do we get, because like the moment they do catch any sort of attention, right? Like, or they get like that one runner for their platform, it's over. Like that's how good a lot of the products that they're building are. That's why I asked them about AI agents, because like someone like me, I would be maybe interested in, like I would be interested in helping them, but like I would need to know how I can help, right? Right as it is right now, there isn't like an easy way for me to help someone like them. But if, let's say, an example is, okay, I can make an AI agent, right? And then I was like, okay, it's on Ronin. No one else can make AI agents on Ronin, right? You got to go to like virtuals or whatever that people use for that. Maybe I might make the first AI agent here. I don't know, right? Like it was just a random thought, but like I want to see those guys win, man, because I think I've been watching them, because everything that came out on Tama I watched closely. And like these guys could have just closed off shop anytime, just like everybody else, right? You remember games like Horde, right? Like the moment something happened, what do? They just rugged everybody, right? And they had a reputation, right? They
still do. It's just not very good,
right? So now it's fucking gone, right? Like, and these are guys who are like everything tells me that they're not scammers, and that's already a big W. You know, like I can't say that about some of the games that are even being built, right? That are supported by Sky Mavis. Like you know, because like I try shit out, but if I don't try shit out, it's because like I'm suspicious, you know, or I already know how it's going to end, right? And that's why I don't do it. But like these guys, I can tell like I don't see the red flags. Even though they're working with like contracts and stuff, like I don't see those the red flags. Like I just don't. And obviously I would love to see them like audit their contracts with like someone reputable, so we have like, you know, another source and so on. But I also understand that like they're not bringing in money. Why would they need to like do that for now? More so like, okay, let's polish the product. Let's get some people to try it who are like willing to try it. And then like once we get some traction, okay, let's get the audit. Let's go for the big boys already, right?
But I guess the question is, would you try? I mean, the next phase of their roadmap is the dispatch missions. Like, are you in a position where you would go acquire 4 NFTs and try out?
Sorry, what's that?
are you in a position where you would go acquire 4 NFTs and try the dispatch missions? Because I mean, exposure in some way could be like you trying that product out and being like, yeah, well, this makes sense, or this is
Yeah,
here's
yeah. I
some
mean,
of the
that's
flaws.
one thing, but like that might not even be my interest, right? They
Yeah.
built a lot of different things. I think I'm more so interested in, like, for example, their staking platform they've created, right?
Yeah,
Which is
yeah.
awesome because there's a game that has a staking platform, and I went to them and I'm like, listen, man, no one, people are using your staking platform, but like you already have this thing. Why not like source this to other people, right? You have a reputation. Why not source this to other people, like, and get some others to like come in and use it? And it was just like, yeah, we're here to build a game. Okay, what the fuck? Like, are you here to build a business, or like, or what? Like, do you hate money?
Hmm.
Like, what do you mean? Like, you're just here to build a game? Like, this is just another way to get attention to you, right? And again,
Yeah.
there's an attention economy. Like, that's what we live in with
Mhm.
Web3. So when they built that, I was like, okay, actually, yeah, this is a problem that needs to be solved. And but others haven't seen it yet, right? If I'm them, I might actually reach out more towards like Ronke, like, right, CAG, like other people who are like kind of closer to where they're at, and build with them and use them as stepping stones to get to the final end game,
Yeah.
right? Maybe they're thinking too much about the end game and not about like, okay, who is where you're at. Like when you're competing in sports, right? You start off at like the league that you're supposed to be in, right? And then you need to like go from there. For me, it was like that with Dota. I play with people who are like at the same skill level as I was first, right? And then I kept learning from them and improving and going. So
Yeah.
that's what I want to see.
Ronke might be the shout, depending on how it works. But
Yeah,
because
because they have
if
stuff.
they have attention, they know how to spread the word. We
Yeah, they have Ron, right? They
Yeah.
have like a fund, and they also have some Ronke. Like, why not try to get them to come and like use the staking platform and get people onboarded through there? That would be the first, right? Like proof of concept for them.
But
And
there
then
was
like,
there was I don't know how much alpha this is, but there in a conversation that I had, because in their staking platform, right, you have the ability to distribute multiple tokens based on the stake that's provided, and Ronke as a token was something that they were looking to put into that system. But I think that's like at a point of that process of like inclusion of Ronke that's like far down the line. There's like something that comes before that.
yeah, I
That
think
could
when you
happen.
use Ronke for your own thing, you're like, that's coming out of your own pocket, right? Like you want those projects to come and be like, yo, let's use this. It makes sense, right? Because they're
I mean,
adding
I'm
value
trying to
to their
think
own
how.
communities, right?
Yeah, but I'm
Like
thinking
when
how,
Ronke do
like,
that.
we'll put their NFTs on the marketplace.
Yeah, I think
Is that what
staking
you're talking about?
NFTs would also be like the
Ninefold.
next. I think staking NFTs would also be the next step for them. Like getting anyone on Ronin to be able to like stake NFTs, and then allowing those projects to like use those as, use that staking as a
Distribution
delivery.
or
Yeah, exactly.
reputation layers. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think so too. And like maybe like you launch an NFT, then you're gonna launch a token. Now it's like, okay, stake your NFTs. We get to see how long you've staked it for, how long you've held it for. Then you get your allocation through that, right? There's like a lot of things, and I work with a bunch of builders already, right? Like on Ronin, and I know what pain points they have and what things that they don't want to pay for, right? And I think like Kitty is already solving that because they got the mindset for it, and they're willing to like, you know. Work for themselves essentially.
Imagine if you're a company that just builds the good components or the good factors that other projects kind of need, right, to be competitive in the space. You then have like this demand flow of like, oh, to make our project better, we just need to use this, right? And then if they're the primary source of that distribution, then you definitely see a successful business model from it. So that's kind of where I see it at. Do we have the scale for that right now? I honestly think that we do, because there's so many projects that are just not doing good things, right? So like if you build a framework that allows a project to do or to add a component that is positive for the project as a whole, and that's the service route that they take, Key World really does have like a lot of customers at the door, and then you add into the fact of the open network and the scalability of and the ease of anybody to come and compete with what you would call the blue chip projects that exist here on Ronin that have the direct backing of the network and things like that. Like, yeah, you start to to really see a competitive environment. And I think a competitive ecosystem is what's actually needed to start like boosting the quality of things here.
So you know what it is about Kitty? They remind me a lot of how Moku works, right? Moku obviously became very big. Kitty,
I was just thinking that.
yeah, they're very, very similar, like in how they think and what they're doing. They're obviously missing like the Hantao element.
Holy, I was just thinking that in my head 30 seconds ago.
They're missing,
I was like, they're missing
the
Hantao.
Right?
Sometimes we think so alike.
Yeah. They're missing something like that. And I think what the Kitties team's advantage is going to be, because of how fast they build, maybe they're even faster, I have no idea, like, is that when the next meta comes, they're already in place, right?
I think their focuses are different though. Like right now, you know where Moku's expansion is, and it's like Moku is focused. They've provided in the past that support and that service element, but now Moku is so well positioned to focus on their own product and the development of their own applications.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where Moku's
and someone needs to replace what they were already doing. Exactly, and that's where Kitty comes in, right?
Yeah.
Because if they keep building at this pace, they're gonna get there. And it's just a matter of like, and in crypto, the metas are changing constantly, right? Like when Virtuals first came out with their AI agent stuff, what if Ronin had one at the same time, right? What if they were able to vampire the meta, right, earlier than everybody else? What would that look like? Or if they launched Tamamime earlier, right, when we saw the meta already formulating, right? Like they said, they built products within 2 weeks' time. Actually, that's all you need, right? Because some of the companies that are bigger, it might take them 2 weeks to even come to the conclusion that to even sign off on it, right? Which is like, that's why having an unknown, small, nimble team sometimes is more advantageous, right? To be able to do that. Robocop in the chat said they really got to onboard a project a lot of mindshare like Angry Dynamites. See, that's the thing, right? Angry Dynamites are like out of their league to begin with, right? That's the one. Second, Ronin is going to support them and do whatever they got to do, right? Kitty's goal is not to get people like Angry Dynamites. It's to get people to a position like Angry Dynamites. Okay? Yeah. So Kitty's position is like, that's where you might, like, if things start to roll, that's where you're most likely going to find your 1,000 X's. Your 10,000 X's possibly one day, right? Angry Dynamites is not going to be like your 1,000, 10,000. They already have their, investors. They already have their, VCs and so on. You might be lucky. You might be lucky if like you buy into it and like you're like up on your token. You know what I mean? So it's a completely different ball game.
Bang. Yeah, if you haven't been thinking the right way, a little download opportunity right there.
That was so freaky though earlier, because I was literally in my head saying, damn, this reminds me of like the products they're building, and they basically just need their own handout. And then like 10 seconds later you say it, I'm like, what the fuck did I think out loud?
Well, no, I think there's a lot of good signs there, and I'm glad that we were able to provide a platform to spark that conversation and to also act and maybe serve as a catalyst for the next phase of Kitty themselves. But I've got a few topics, bro, that we can choose one of them because we've already been here for a little minute. Stark, you mentioned earlier on that everybody turned into lawyers on social media over the last few days. There's been some fun stuff going down there. That's one topic we can go into. We can also talk about amidst the FUD, the actual bull posting that's been happening about Ronin recently. We see, I think it's like Peter ETH talking about, Ronin itself right now. The conversation has been very much angled towards, the doubling down on what works and those types of things. We can go expand that conversation, or we could just address the feature updates that have happened, on Ronin over the last week. So where do we want to go? We want to double down on talking about drip and those types of things. We want to double down on the conversations that are, I guess,
Take your
controversial.
Pick, bro. Take your pick.
Wow, you know I love controversy, but I don't think that's the one I want to go down right now. I actually want to talk about this because I think it aligns with the way Stark, you've been thinking as well, coming back. But it's let's spread some seeds of like positivity around Ronin itself, right? So there's this guy, a South Korean creator, that's been making posts about Ronin as of recent. This was a post I came across this morning. And it kind of opens up that discussion, right? His name's Ethan Apple, shout out to him. But he's saying that Ronin follows its own playbook. Read the recent criticisms, right? Let me be clear, this is the way, maintaining 600,000 daily active addresses. Again, we're not going to go down that road of a conversation around that. Listed on major Korean exchanges. There was some huge movements happening on the South Korean exchanges. The RNG content plus Pokemon style games on board him. It's true that while some whales have exited, and yes, the price has been declining, but let's not forget the 10x rally in March 2024, 30% increase in the bridge and user volume, a vibrant driven community ecosystem, a lineup of game changes in the works. So one thing he mentions here that I do want to talk about is this is the statement, right? In the gaming sector, one loyal player is worth more than 1,000 on-chain farmers. I don't think that is so true. Like that statement right there has to be so true. One, the farmers are probably all going to extract, and
it's so true. But at the same time, there's so much to be said about it, which is like it's much more. There's so many layers to it, as in like because the loyal player, depending on how the team acts, like loyal till when, and if the 1,000 extractors extract too much. And the loyal player is not rewarded.
Even wants to die. Why do you want to die, bro?
No, it's like I wanted to write on this, right? And I probably will one of these days. I'm just being a bit lazy on it. The thing is, you got these farmers, right, that come into your game. Where the fuck did Stark go? I want to see his face while I, tell him. I want to look in his eyes.
I went to get some
I'm
water.
I'm kidding. Listen.
Look at me in the eyes.
You have these games, right? You have these farmers and blah, 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 whatever. You have like, your VCs, the tokens or whatever. You come in, they play this game. Now you got and then someone enjoys the game. Let's just say, God forbid someone fucking loves your game, right? And they're like, yo, I want to play this. I want to keep going. And they reinvest whatever they get from their allocation from their P2A and blah, blah, blah. They just put it right back into the game. They buy more shit. They want to progress. They want to like go on and play this for like years, right? Right now, in any game that you play, if you actually like the game and you stick around, you become the bag holder.
Mm-hmm.
You become the guy who takes on the burden of like everything going down, right? And now, why is it that the guy who sticks around to play your game is the one being punished? Is what doesn't make sense, right? There isn't a single game where in the last like 2 years, almost 2 years, 1 year, 1 year, sorry, plus, right? Since probably Pixels was like the last game where like token comes out, it went up for a little while, it stayed there, and then like now it's like mega down, right? But like even that, I wouldn't even say like, oh, it's okay. It feels punishing to be a loyal player from day one. How do we solve that? Right? That's the thing that we got to solve. And when he's saying like, yeah, they're more valuable, it's true, because then your loyal players become like your source of marketing, because like everything is attached financially, right? So they would like to see their game do well. So then they go on Twitter and they start talking about your game because, they want shit to bounce back and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, how do we solve? This is the one problem that needs to be solved. How the fuck do you solve that your loyal players are not the ones who become the ones who get fucked the hardest in the end?
I think it's two-pronged. It's mechanisms internally for distribution, right? So that loyal players can be identified and distributed accordingly to. And then two, it's like there needs to be a refueling system. It needs to be a sustainable form of reward, right? Because even if you identify the loyal players and you distribute to them directly, like the concept of them not being fucked, right, is them profiteering, right, of them gaining benefit, which just inherently includes extraction, right? So even if you can identify your loyal players and the type of demographic that you want to reward and should be rewarded, if you reward them, how does that actually affect them and your ecosystem at large? Like, you have to have the renewable aspect so that you can reward them and the lights can stay on and their experience can stay as it is and improve, right? You can't reward them and at the detriment of their own experience, because the thing that they're getting rewarded for, if it becomes more painful, then you'll either, one, lose the loyalty, or two, the person will just actually lose the capability to even stay loyal, right? So you have to have projects that, we've said it before, revenue models just have to exist. I don't think there's any room for projects or games that come into the ecosystem of this just in this industry, not even the ecosystem specifically with Ronin, but just in this industry in general. There is no room now for a project that is solely funded off of raised funds. There's just no room for it, because at the end of the day, it's like having a lemonade stand. You've got one lemonade stand that has a lemon tree or a lemon farm at home, and one lemonade stand that's just out there buying lemonade on demand, right? And you go and look at them, you think, but lemonade is in demand right now. Lemonade is popping. I'm going to invest in lemonade, right? I'm going to go and become a part of this lemonade stand, and choosing the one that doesn't have the lemon farm at home. Like, this is just not going to happen, right? The renewable aspect of having more lemons at home without this huge cost factor, or a cost factor that's already weighted in, has to be where the player's mind is for them to be loyal. So if you want loyal players, you got to prove that your loyalty to you is deserved. So like, that's how you solve it. But just saying revenue models, create them, is fucking, it's harder than it is. They're harder than it sounds, right? Go create a revenue model. Like, what do you do? The metaphor is getting hella confusing. I know, I went down there too. But two lemonade stands, you say, oh, it's both
When
lemonade.
Life gives you lemon, when life gives you lemon, pick a lemon tree.
pick when life gives you, I don't fucking know. Either way, if you want to invest in lemonade, invest in the lemonade stand that has lemon trees at home, and not the one that has a supply that might run out. Fuck you guys. You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
They need losing meaning.
They need lemon. They need lemons, bro. No, they just need revenue models, right? There's no standard. There's nothing can drop below that standard for me now moving forwards. I'm not going to go for a company that doesn't have either a war chest or a revenue opportunity, because at the end of the day, my loyalty will not sustain itself. It will kill me to be loyal. And I've experienced, I'm a fucking expert at killing myself through loyalty. But like, if a company doesn't have the means to continually supplement the loyalty, then do they deserve the loyalty in the first place? So everything else seems to have that short cycle element to it. And that's when you get the non-loyalists rewarded to an extreme degree, and project dies. So facilitate identification of loyalty, and make sure that revenue exists to supplement the loyalty so that you can sustain that loyalty then. Therefore, that's the only method. That should be the two focuses of games right now, on top of obviously the development of the application and the experience itself. So when life gives you lemons, fuck off. And on that note, I got a lemon for you guys. It's an NFT. It's a kitty team. We're going to give it out. So somebody in the chat right now, bro, if you were here for the conversation on Kitty World, drop KTTY in the chat. I'm going to choose at random somebody. I am going to actually overlook this and be like, okay, who's a quality user that is going to go take... Go ahead.
Give it to Robocop, bro. He's the only one who's asking good questions in chat. I just give it to Robocop.
You know what? You know what's funny about this? In my head, that's already what I was gonna do, because I want to give this. I want to give this to somebody that I know is gonna go trial the product and be a quality community member and come and talk about the experience in
Yeah.
the Moses community. So
Well,
that
you said you're gonna give another kitty, right? Like another NFT. So
yeah,
you
we're
can
gonna
give
give
that
one away and
out.
then a team of 4.
Yeah. So I would say just give the one away and then give the team of 4 to Robocop, because I think he was asking questions, he was engaged, and I think he deserves it. And he will actually
Absolutely.
go and try the product, because at the end of the day, that's what they want, right? So let's just
Yeah.
I think
Let's make sure that's for today. Robocop, congratulations! But there is another kitty going out to one of you guys. If you type KTTY in the chat right now, we're gonna go select from you guys and give one of these NFTs out. But yeah, I want to echo that, bro. Like Robocop, you're here every single show contributing. We appreciate you. But that's what it is. That's what it takes, bro. Like if you watch our show and you sit there and you don't type shit in the chat, like what the fuck, bro? Like you sitting there whilst I'm giving metaphors as good as the lemonade stand one, and you don't
you know
say
what's
shit.
interesting? I don't know if I heard it correctly, but Kitty said that it was on that show on Ronin Radio where he met what was his name?
Fat Kitty.
Oh yeah, he met Hantao.
Not Hantao. The other the I forgot his name.
Pavana.
Yes. And then they got in contact.
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Right?
Oh, through the show? Yeah, through the show.
Through the
'Cause he
show.
was passionate.
Yeah.
Right? So you see how like it's the show is making shit happen, bro. That's awesome,
facts.
man.
You
That's
got motion,
fucking awesome.
brother.
That's awesome.
You got motion, brother. But that is also down to you, like the community as well, for turning up and showing up and supporting us. So, but we aim to do that more. I actually honestly want this to be the turning point. That one moment in time you can look back and say that was the catalyst for Kitty's success. 100%. I pride myself on being able to do those things, and pride the show. I'm facilitating that. That's why we started the show in the first place, right? And Open Ronin, it becomes more and more valid because there are going to be a bunch of projects, there are going to be a bunch of things happening, and you need that validity to it. And can this be a medium to serve that? I think so. But either way, I'm going to close up this kitty entries in 20 seconds. 20 seconds. You got 20 seconds to go. Also, I wanted to just ask this question. But I saw on the timeline that like games are like trying to file lawsuits against content creators for defamation on some of the posts that they're making. Like, what creator deals have been signed? Yeah.
Good luck. Good luck getting that anywhere. It's just a bunch of smoking mirrors.
Where is it gonna happen?
Yeah, it's not like they're rugging people. They're gonna rug people and use that money on like waste of resources on shit that won't amount to anything. I mean,
yeah,
I guess they're already using the resources on shit that won't amount to anything. So nothing different.
Oh god! All right, let's get these names.
Choose your rug carefully, guys.
Yeah. Choose wisely, friends. Let's get all your names in here. This is going to take a little longer, so you're going to have more opportunity to enter right here. But yeah, I mean, you guys, if you've got anything else to deliver to the show, then please do so right now. Fill the air, because I have a few brain cells that are needed to pay attention to this right now, and I cannot carry it. Put the show on your back, somebody. Ragnar. I'm also hiring for new co-hosts, chat. So if you wanna.
So there was something I was about to ask, but on the Kitty World website, it says that the mint is like scheduled for 25th of April with different prices. Was that another mint, or was that just this mint that they pushed back?
Ask Cora.
Cora doesn't know, and Cora can't access the links. Cora can't access the Kitty World website, so isn't able to read that info because she can't access external links.
Okay, well then we got to provide feedback on that. I think the only mint that's happened so far has been the Tamer mint, right? But there's a few Kitty community members in the chat. If you guys know the answer to that question, please share it with us.
Yeah, because when you scroll down on the home page, it says 6,666, April 5th, 2025. Click read more, and you have like different prices, like 40 RON, 35 RON plus 35,000 kitty. I think it's just all outdated, and that's where the new mint info should be. Because when I saw that, and then I saw you guys showing an uncompleted mint on stream, like on the show, I was like, "What? Wait, is this an old video? Are you showing old footage?" So like this, yeah, well,
it probably is.
Hiker, you're part of the team, right? I believe because you were like, or part of the. Oh well, it's the last day of the Origin season 2, but it's been a boring season. I haven't had much time to play.
I haven't played Axie in maybe a month, bro, and that for me is actually rare. You know why it starts, bro? I finally stepped back and took a look at the funds I was wasting on the bounty board every week.
And your returns were less than you were spending? Okay. Bro finally pulled out the spreadsheet.
Thank God. Thank God. I've been telling him for 2 years, Jesus Christ. And think about the returns when the slips cost were like went for more even. Oh God.
Yep. So since then I've not even played. So have you played this season, Stark? Or
yeah. I'm like rank 400 or something.
Well,
that's been a lot of people in here.
But we had a big turnout today. Big turnout, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. Kitty's definitely got some motion because for today's show, bro, this is probably our largest turnout in the last few weeks. So shout out
I'm seeing people. I just opened up the Kitty chart, and when we started the show,
has it gone up?
yeah, it's gone up like 20%.
Fucking hell.
Yep. Hey, I'm telling you, bro. This is what happens. We've done it with like fucking SLP before, so you know a token with this low.
It's criminal that it's that cheap. To be fair,
like I'm just seeing people like twapping and like buying, like, so there's some motion going here, eh?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So it started
the day at
20.5K, 20.7K, and now it's at 26K. So it's pretty good.
There you go. You guys are welcome. You community members are welcome too if you've been in for a minute. I actually bought some before Ron dipped and then was like, holy shit, I need funds. So
that's probably, given the market cap that Kitty has.
Oh my God, guys.
Bye, fuck you. Here we go. This is the Kitty NFT being given out right the fuck now. You see your name on the wheel. You are entered. Let's give this away and rug this shit, bro. Let's get it together. Good luck. I'm going to put some tunes, bro. Let's put some fucking... Oh, no, I can't. I don't think this will share the music. Can you hear anything, Stark?
Yes. Can I hear anything from the wheel or from you? I can't hear you anymore. Are you talking? What the fuck is going on?
Spin it and rug the show. 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 The winner today is... Oh my God, it's community member Hiker. How could it be? It is what it is. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Big shout out to Kitty World, and we will be the catalyst for their success. This is the Ronin Radio. We got motion. We're back on Thursday. Make sure you fucking, I don't know, masturbate this week. I don't know. See you later. Bye-bye.